Hi, welcome to my channel. This is the first time that you've been here, a very warm welcome. And if you're a subscriber or a returning viewer, I am so thankful that you're back with me again. This is a channel where I talk about the history and the beliefs of various religious movements. Now today, I'm going to talk about the American Christian Fundamentalist movement. So I hope this is going to be a real short video. I hope you'll watch all the way to the end to be able to get a picture of all of the points that I want to bring out. I do want to say right up front that this is general information and it would not necessarily apply 100% to every denomination or every church that I mention, or certainly not to each individual. Some people may subscribe to part of the beliefs and practices of fundamentalism, but not others. In the future, I'll do a video about the other side of the coin, the liberal movement in American Christianity. Well, the Christian fundamentalist movement in America is a reactionary religious movement, reacting against the new techniques of studying the Bible that appeared in the 17 and 1800s, and also the changes in culture, the modern cultural or modernism as it was called. In the early 1900s, these people didn't like these changes. Now I'm going to put lots of links or references in the description column, in the description box, so that you can check out and expand upon what I'm saying and see where I got the information from. So, a catalyst for the movement was when a large number of new high schools were being built in rural America, especially in the Midwest and in the South. And in these schools, in the science curriculum, they were teaching evolution. They were teaching Darwinism and the theory of evolution. And this teaching was seen by them, by the fundamentalist believers of the time, as undermining the very basic doctrines of the Bible, the things that they saw as essential and really treasured. Now, although the term fundamentalist it's not considered useful by all scholars, I think if you live in 21st century America today, in the US, you have an idea in your mind of what a fundamentalist is, and it's pretty clear that you can identify their core beliefs and behaviors, both religious and political fundamentalists, and they often go together. Well, the basic belief, the core belief, is that the scriptures, the Bible, the Holy Bible as we have it, is without error. It is more than just infallible in the areas of religious belief or salvation or morality, but every word of the Bible is correct. And so in the areas of history and science, the Bible is correct, and any other source, such as evolution in the area of science, is incorrect. This idea of the inerrancy of Scripture, of every word being God-breathed, actually came out of Princeton University in the early 1900s. The second core belief is creationism, not evolution, to explain the origin of man and the origin of our universe. The third would be the virgin birth of Jesus, then the birth in a bodily resurrection, the belief in a bodily resurrection of Jesus, and finally in the predicted second coming of Jesus. Now, late in the 20th and early in the 21st century, there have been some additional beliefs and behaviors that have become extremely important to the fundamentalists in our nation. And these things have been emphasized. They are anti-abortion, anti-homosexuality, marriage must be between one man and one woman, and they are against any kind of gender change practices. So with little variation, these ideas are held as essential by most fundamentalists today. Now there's a definite divide in the U.S. It's a them and us divide, a liberal and conservative divide, not only in the religious circles, but also in the political sector. Persons choosing the political party and candidates to support. Now, denominations that are known for being fundamentalists today are the Southern Baptist and some of the other Baptist denominations. The Assemblies of God, which Assembly of God is the largest Pentecostal group. Some of the other Pentecostal groups are conservative and fundamentalist as well. A majority of what we call non-denominational churches or independent churches have not been trained except by fundamentalists. They haven't attended seminary or a college, usually in a particular denomination, so they have a fundamentalist background. The Plymouth Brethren, the Jehovah's Witnesses, the Seventh-day Adventists. Now, among the mainstream religions, many of them have split into more than two or more factions over these issues. Those would be the Methodists, the Congregationalists, the Presbyterians, and more. Since earliest days, the fundamentalist has been known for the suppression of the role of women, both in the church and in society, as resistant to most higher education. They're okay with training in the trades, electricity, plumbing, HVAC, etc., possibly even nursing or something like a dental hygienist. But the liberal education, the liberal arts education, or just attending university for education's sake is discouraged. There's also been a determination to control aspects of society through political means, through the passing of laws on the local, state, and federal level, and through lobbying for or supporting various political candidates for their ideas to be assimilated into the entire population. And finally, the support of white male supremacy. It was a few Protestant white male believers, Christian believers, who began the movement and are their primary representatives today. Now, between the years 1910 and 1915, over 100 years ago now. A series of 90 essays was written, and the purpose was to express the core beliefs. They were put together in a series of pamphlets. Altogether, there are 90 of them in 12 volumes, and I'm going to put a link to them, the description below, if you want to check them out. It is over 1,000 pages of reading, and this was called The Fundamentals, and it talked about the various doctrines that were believed by fundamentalists, and also names groups that they disagree with and think should be avoided as heretical. And those would, of course, be the Roman Catholic and the Orthodox branches of Christianity, and such things as Mormonism, Christian Science, Theosophy, etc. Well, as I said, this has just been a summary, an introduction to American Protestant fundamentalism. In the future, I'm going to do videos where I'll take different parts, perhaps evolution versus creationism, or the role of women in the church, or the specific history of the different groups involved, and go into them in much more detail. Well, I hope you found this informative and that you'll join with me when I do the future videos. I do want to thank you for watching. I hope you'll leave your comments and your questions. I do try to answer them. And I think that's it for today. So I hope that you stay well and prosper, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye for now.